Hey guys, and welcome to I Want My ACB Reviews. I'm Sarah, and today we are going to be talking about Steven Spielberg's musical spectacular, West Side Story. West Side Story has been around since the 1950s. It's Stephen Sondheim's, R.I.P. sir, first Broadway hit musical. It gave us iconic songs like Tonight and Maria and a bunch of others. The film adaptation swept at the Oscars. It won every category it was nominated with the exception of one. And Rita Moreno won the first and only Oscar for a Latin woman.
I can't believe it! Good Lord! I leave you with that.
West Side Story is inspired by William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. If you're not familiar with that story, it's basically star-crossed lovers from two families who hate each other, and in the end they all die. West Side Story is basically the same.
The first gringo boy who smiles at you.
West Side Story tells the story of two rival gangs in 1950s Upper West Side of New York City. You have the white gang, which are the Jets, and the Puerto Rican gang, who are the Sharks. And because everyone is afraid of everything they're not comfortable with or don't understand, racism.
You know, I wake up to everything I know either getting sold or wrecked or being taken over by people that I don't like.
Tony, one of the guys who used to be a Jet, is in love with Maria, the sister of the leader of the Sharks. I know, it's dramatic. Songs happen, dance happen, fights happen, deaths happen, and in the end it ends almost exactly like Romeo and Juliet. Now, I need to preface this review by saying I absolutely do not like West Side Story. It is not a musical I find fun or entertaining. I have seen multiple versions of it, whether it is the movie or my high school did it, other community plays. I almost got dragged to the Broadway version with Karen Olivo, and I said absolutely not, and then she won the Tony. Doesn't matter, still probably wouldn't have enjoyed it until now. Leave it to Steven Spielberg to make me enjoy a musical that I have disliked for 2 decades. Steven Spielberg is just an absolute genius, and he loves musicals, and West Side Story is one of his favorites, and it absolutely shows in every frame of this picture. Holy crap, was I absolutely blown away by the cinematography, the choreography, the direction. This movie looks like it was shot in 1950, but with like the most state-of-the-art cameras and also ripped from the stage. If you are thinking out there, production land, that you want to take another stage musical and turn it into a movie, give it to Steven Spielberg. He is now the only one ever allowed to adapt any musical ever. And the man behind writing the magic is Tony Kushner, Oscar winner, Pulitzer Prize winning writer. So if you're gonna let anyone adapt a musical into film, it should also always be him. I believe why I like this version of West Side Story so much is because of the changes. And yes, there's a handful of changes to the script. There is updated choreography while giving nods to some of the original. And there's less 10-minute dance breaks. So yeah, all the dancing makes sense. It comes with the story and it just doesn't last forever. One of my favorite things about this film is that there is no CGI. Okay, that's a lie. The very opening pan is CGI. The rest of it, they only used to get rid of like air conditioners and bars on windows, things that they didn't have in 1950s New York. The rest is just incredible lighting and set design. And holy crap, this group of actors is absolutely incredible.
I never seen you before. You're not Puerto Rican.
Is that okay?
Ansel Elgort plays Tony, the trying to be reformed Jet. I knew he could sing. He does have a music career. If you don't listen to his music, it's pretty fun. But I didn't know if he could take on a musical. And he does. Ansel is so good in this. And he made me understand how you could fall in love with someone immediately. I never really understood that part of Romeo and Juliet. Yes, I have young love and I would not die for them. However, the depth and layers that he gives Tony, I absolutely get it. Unlike in the original musical, we actually have Latin actors and actresses. I know, it's crazy. And I am so glad that they changed that. Rachel Zegler as Maria is fantastic. She is stunning. I absolutely love the tone of her voice, and she sings these Sondheim songs effortlessly. I love her so much in this. I cannot wait for her to be Snow White in the live adaptation. I think she's gonna absolutely kill it. When it comes to the supporting cast that rounds out this entire film, I thought that David Alvarez's Bernardo was incredible. Bernardo is a very easy character to make one-dimensional. He's just constantly angry. But he gives this character so many layers. He's a lot edgier and darker and more aggressive in a realistic way. I also need to give a shout out to Josh Andres Rivera because his Chino, like, I have no words other than wow. And I think who everyone has their eye on is Ariana DeBose because she plays Anita. Anita is the character that Rita Moreno won the Oscar for. It's the role that Karen Olivo won her Tony. So I just have to say, ladies, breathe a sigh of relief. Ariana is absolutely phenomenal as Anita. She may look familiar to you guys, and that's because she's on Schmigadoon. She's the teacher. And I loved her on that. So seeing her in this, I just saw her come to even more life and explode with talent. Her highs are high, her lows are devastating. And oof, there's a scene in there and you'll know it when you see it, that wow, just bring some tissues. One of my favorite changes and additions that Tony and Steven Spielberg did was adding Rita Moreno back into this film as a brand new character. The character they wrote for her is Doc's widow. So Doc does not exist. Doc is the guy who owns the drugstore that all the Jets hang out in. Instead, it's Valentina. And Valentina is a Puerto Rican woman who married a white man who helped raise these boys. But they don't see her as a Puerto Rican woman because they grew up with her, they're familiar with her. And she tries so hard to teach them not to be racist dicks.
There is no vaccine for racism.
Or rapists, because that's also a thing. Rita being in this film and this character created for her adds so much more depth and nuance and layers that the original story just didn't have. She's also given a song that is typically sung by Tony and Maria, but giving it to her makes all the difference and makes this song mean so much.
This is my first time in New York City. I want to be happy here. I want to make a life, a home.
The biggest controversy where it comes to Steven Spielberg's West Side Story is that the Spanish will not be subtitled. Nope. As a person who really doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, but I have grown up in Florida and Los Angeles, so I've been around it, I did pick up a few words that I recognize, but they're mostly cuss words. However, each scene usually starts in English and ends in English, or even someone will say a line in Spanish and it's said, for the most part, back in English right after. I did not find myself to be lost. I knew exactly what was going on in every scene. I can assume what's being said by my own personal life experience. And I think it's a really ballsy choice that absolutely pays off. And I really hope they don't add it in future runs because people complain. Enjoy it. Enjoy feeling lost like the Jets in this film, because that's the point. And then maybe ask the people next to you who are giggling at the jokes what was being said. I honestly can't believe I am saying this, that I really enjoyed Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. It even feels weird coming out of my mouth. But guys, seriously, the original film adaptation was groundbreaking, and this version takes it to a whole new level. And it took away all the things I didn't like and made it so good. Gosh, it's so good. Go see it, like right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Sarah. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you have always been a fan of West Side Story, or if you're like me and you're like, oh, Miranda. But then also go see the movie and then tell me what you think. And then make sure that you ring the bell so you don't miss out on any more Angst videos. Bye.